Doesn't really serve either side too much good in this group situation, in truth, by this point of the campaign. So you would think that as the game goes on, we're certainly going to see an increased appetite for risk, you'd have thought. Chance to run. Up against Lunga, who wins the one-on-one duel against the talented young dribbler, Razak Rashidou. Nice slalom inside, but that's cleared by Garananga. Almost at the midway point of this second half. You can certainly feel the tension here in the Côte d'Ivoire. So much on the line. Zimbabwe desperately need a win for keeping up faint hopes of qualification. Benin, meanwhile, in a stronger position in the group, but still in a fight for second. Benin also know that if they can claim victory in this one, it puts real pressure on Rwanda, who play against Nigeria tomorrow. It's the only game in African qualification tomorrow. Garnett Roaring shot there, who took over from Benin legend Musa Atunji, who was caretaker manager when Michel Dussier left in 2021. Forward, just trying to see it out for a goal kick there, and Kananga manages to do just that. Ball forward, chance to run onto it, but just nodded calmly into the gloves of Danjinu. Little surprised that we haven't seen both managers go to their bench a little more than they have. We've seen Razak Rashidou come on for Benin, but Zimbabwe still yet to change the starting 11. We'll be keeping eyes on Michael Nice in front of us. Here come Benin. Little ball inside is a good one. The touch initially was slightly heavy. And seen out for what won't even be a corner, it will be a goal kick. With Ceci Dalmeida bursting forward. And it was a nice recovery effort from Divine Lunga against Dalmeida, who was born in Bordeaux, where he began his career. Also spent time in the PSG B team before spending 3 years in England with the likes of Barnsley, Blackpool and Yeovil. He was a teammate of the likes of Serge Aurier, Christopher Nkunku and Presney Kimpembe when playing for that PSG B side. Remember, of course, both sides fighting for a place in that expanded 48-team World Cup, hosted by the USA, Mexico and Canada. 104 games across 16 cities. In that new format, 12 groups of 4 and a round of 32. So everybody who finishes in the top 2 and Also 8 of the 12 third places will go through. Here come Benin. Oleitan. Aloku chips it in, but it's far too close to Arubi. Simple catch for the keeper. A little bit of treatment being needed here. Benin might have to go to their bench for a second time tonight. Remember that you can keep up with all the news, highlights, video features and live coverage of qualifying for that FIFA 2026 Men's World Cup right here on FIFA Plus. Change coming for Benin. Sessi de Almeida is having his night ended, unfortunately for him. Atijiku Samadou comes on for him in the back line, and it's a double change because Jodel Dosu is also on. Jodel Dosu coming on in the place of Rodolfo Aloku, the 18-year-old who has impressed down that right flank. Name to watch for the future. Just his second cap for the national team tonight. Plays in the Croatian third tier with NK Kustojoka, joined from Dynamo Abomey. Was one of Benin's brightest sparks at points in that first half, but going up raw, choosing to change it up. Little flick to get the ball out wide. Couldn't quite keep hold of it, Chirewa. Well, initially, of course, there was foul on Emmanuel Jalai. Plays his club football with the Dynamos in Zimbabwe. One of a number of players in this Zimbabwe squad who play their football domestically. The vast majority of those that do, that are in this national team squad, play for Scotland. The likes of Terence Jukamanja, Walter Musona, and God knows Marua. Also Knowledge Musona, of course. In it comes from Zamora. Headed away, and might be a chance of Benin on the break. That might well be a yellow card. It will be a yellow card. Not surprised at all. A professional foul, really, designed to stop the counter-attack. Bringing down Marvellous Nakamba and making sure he wasn't going any further. Crossing chance. So important save from Arubi, who was lucky that it fell to one of his defenders. Otherwise it might have been a tap-in. Well, the longer this goes on, the more the tension ramps up. Both sides knowing that one mistake or moment of brilliance could seal 3 vital World Cup qualification points to the Group C table. That'll be a foul. Wants to take it quickly as well. And the referee's on board. So on we go. Crucial sliding challenge from Olivier Verdon at the back. Verdon, born in France, spent his early career there with the likes of Bordeaux and Sochaux. Had a season at Eupen in Belgium. Now plays for the Bulgarian side Ludogorets. He's won the league title in every season at the club there. Leighton looks crossfield. It's a lovely crossfield ball. But Benin maybe just slightly lacking a bit of momentum with the ball here, although that's a really nice switch. And suddenly here comes Roche, up from the back. Roche's ball in! Steve Mounier! Who else for Benin? His 21st goal for the national team has been so key throughout this qualifying campaign. The 30-year-old striker, the captain, makes no mistake. Lovely ball in by Johan Roche, and Mounier does the rest. Well, he's already scored 4 qualifying goals in Group C. Make it 5. And every chance it's a winner here. With not a lot of time for Zimbabwe to respond. You can't give a player of that much quality, that much time at the far post. Lovely guided header. There's a t-shirt as well that came out from one of the Benin players referencing the passing of Razak Omotoyosi, which was marked before kick-off with a minute's silence. A nice touch. Those Benin fans certainly not silent now of course. Confirmation there. Steve Mounier's goal, the difference here. Well, now at Zimbabwe, have got to find something. They've only scored 5 goals in their 6 World Cup qualifying games so far coming into this one. Well, they've only won 1 of their last 7 going back to last November, albeit that was Zimbabwe's last game, a 3-1 win against Mozambique in the COS AFA Cup. A trophy that Zimbabwe have had so much success in. They've won the COS AFA Cup 6 times, 2000, 2003, 2005, 2009 and in 2017 and 18. Foul on Johan Roche, who got the assist for the goal. Just over 10 minutes plus stoppages left. What have Zimbabwe got in the tank to respond to that goal from Mounier? The kind of goal that entirely changes the qualification picture. If they could hold on to this result, Benin would move 3 points clear of Rwanda in second. Albeit Rwanda would have that game in hand tomorrow against Nigeria. Benin would be 3 points clear with 3 games left. South Africa on course to win. So they would still be 5 points behind South Africa with 3 games to go. It would feel quite improbable that they'd catch South Africa to win the group. Remember, group winner goes directly to the World Cup. The best 4 teams in terms of record of points and goal difference from the 9 runners-up in the African qualifiers go through to the intercontinental playoffs, with the eventual possibility of still reaching the World Cup via a couple of mini tournaments. Well, Benin in no rush, quite content to keep the ball and make Zimbabwe do something drastic to get back into the contest, just whittle the clock away. Don't underestimate what a big result this would be for Benin. It would be their first win in almost a year. Changes are coming for Zimbabwe, who hadn't made any up to this point, but the scoreboard and that goal going in, unsurprisingly, dictates that alterations will be made. Marvellous Nakamba. Well, I beg your pardon. It's Benin making the change. It's Junior Oletan coming off. Zimbabwe still yet to go to their bench. God knows Mira was warming up in front of us, looking like he might come on, but it's change being made by Benin. Rodrigue Kossi is on in place of Junior Oletan. Kossi, a 25-year-old who recently joined HUSAFC in Morocco. Previously played 5 seasons at Club Africain in Tunisia. Has also played in Algeria and Saudi Arabia. Well, now here comes that Zimbabwe change. Well, it's a triple change for Zimbabwe. Bill Antonio, Timon Machope, who was a late call-up into the squad, and Terence Jukamanja. Well, it will likely be a change of formation. I think it might be to a 3-4-3 here. Can see the reorganisation being instructed to other players on the pitch out there. So under Maswanise, Emmanuel July making room and coming off, as was Tawanda Chirewa. Fascinating to see how Zimbabwe go after this. Not much to lose, really. Win this bottom of the group. World Cup qualification, the faintest of faint hopes, disappearing quickly if they can't fight their way back into this. Lovely run this. Is there a finish at the end of it? Washington Arubi comes out and collects. Jordel Dosu, the veteran forward, just kept going and going. What is his 70th cap? Scored in the 2-1 win against Nigeria, Dosu, back in June of last year. And that really would have been almost game, set and match that he made it 2-0 there. Foul on time and Machope. He's someone to keep an eye out on. 7 goals in his last 4 games for Scotland in Zimbabwe. If you're maybe one of our international viewers, I haven't mispronounced that. That's the domestic Zimbabwean club, not the country. Through to the back post has a bit too much on it. Headed out by Garananga, who came very close to opening the scoring in the first half. Another chance for Dosu. Brought down, definitely no penalty, but Mounier might take advantage. A rare mistouch from Steve Mounier. Dosu goes down. On we go. Of course, not a head injury, so referee in no way obligated to stop play. And then flashes, well, not just across, but up and over the 6-yard box from the overhit cross. All happening at both ends of the field. Well, this was the potential penalty on Dosu. Referee wasn't remotely interested. Well, this is the goal that right now is deciding it. Johan Roche's cross and headed in by Steve Mounier. Another late notice change for Zimbabwe. To Tenda Musona. On for Tino Kadewere. Walter Musona on for his 18th cap, has 4 goals already. What Zimbabwe would give for another here. One of a number of Scotland players in the Zimbabwe ranks from the club side. Chance for a decent ball in here. Zimbabwe have now made 4 of their 5 changes. It does appear to be a version of almost something of a 3-2-5 here with a front 5 since those alterations. All clipped in, doesn't he? Dealing with it's Dosu, the striker, who's back there playing left back. Important sliding challenge. And that'll be a foul as well. Just gives Kadewere and Benin a chance to run the clock down. Is there a late twist in the tale? The beauty of sport is the unpredictability, after all. We'll be fascinated to see how much time is added on at the back end of this one. There was only a minute added on at the end of the first half. Four minutes this time, as a minimum. Can Zimbabwe find something late? Zamora. He plays his club football with Udinese in England, in Italy, born in England, I was going to say. Qualifies as both parents are Zimbabwean. Another header away. And then hammered clear. Anywhere will do for Benin. Former French colony, part of France. So their first attempt to qualify for the World Cup was back in 1974 in West Germany. They've never made it. Even just finishing second behind South Africa would get them a continued shot at glory via potentially an intercontinental playoff, as that's out for a corner. Brave defending in there from Imran Hassan. Antonio Leroy to take the corner. Zamora to deliver. Ball will come straight back at Benin here. We're midway through that stoppage time, and the referee's brought things back because he feels there's a head injury. Well, you can see what the Zimbabwe boss Michael Nice thinks of it. Zimbabwe, who have got an AFCON campaign to look forward to, even if World Cup qualification, you'd have to say, is looking pretty unlikely. Play Egypt, Angola and South Africa on the 22nd, 26th and 29th of December respectively. That first game against Egypt in Agadir, and then the next two in Marrakesh in Group B of the upcoming African Cup of Nations. The Warriors, who first reached AFCON back in 2004, were unfortunate to have never made it out of the group stages. That's what they'll be looking to do this time. That's the bridge that Zimbabwe will want to cross. Don't have a best record in AFCON group games. Have lost at least a couple in every campaign they've played in the major showpiece. 3 wins, 2 draws and 10 losses. We'll look to better that in Morocco. Benin, meanwhile, reaching the quarter-final of AFCON in 2019. Ball in is a good one. Just trying to work a shooting chance. And now just smashed over the bar. It was a lovely bit of hold-up play by Terence Drukamanja to create the opportunity. But Walter Musona on from the bench with too much power and not enough precision. Ultimately doesn't make Marcel Danginu work. Danginu in no rush to take the goal kick. We're in overtime in stoppage time, but there was that injury, remember? Just to remind you again, of course, Benin playing their home games in the Côte d'Ivoire and have played recent friendlies in France because they don't have any FIFA accredited stadiums of their own. It's a significant disadvantage for Gernot Rohr's side, but despite that, they're mere moments from a crucial 3 points. And this will be a yellow. And both players, in fact, seemingly have picked up a card. And Maswanise involved, but it's Rodrigo Cossi who goes in the book. Flipped ball forward, flicked on. That will be a goal kick, and that might well be that. It is that. A crucial 3 points for Benin towards their World Cup qualifying tally. Steve Mounier's late header decides it. Captain fantastic once again. Johan Roche's superb cross, and it was Mounier's guiding header